are the Millie Goats. I'm back in the lab, in the basement, episode 237, April 27th, 2025. I'm AK, co-host. J.U.Y.S, co-host. Tex out. He's long travel day for Tex today.
So I got a call from Tex this morning at about 6:45.
This morning?
This morning at 6:45. Now, I was awake already with the kids, and the phone was in my room, so I didn't even see the phone. But when I saw it, I called him back, and he's like, "Sorry, I've been roaming around. I was probably just a butt dial. I've been moving stuff all day. I got to drive all day, get the kids. I got to go to flag football." I was just like, "So I'll see you tonight." He goes, "Probably not." He sounded like he had a day already, and it was like
Dude,
9:00.
It's quite a scene to watch him go to work on he and his wife go to work on vacation with they have 5 kids, and that's a I love them to death. They're so much fun. I love them all the way top to bottom. Every single one of my nieces and nephews, love them to death. They're fantastic. The vacation was awesome. The weather was phenomenal. We caught so many fish.
Yeah, you sent that picture.
Hey, that was just in the morning.
I know, it looked like a week's worth.
Like that was just one day in the morning. We caught them all for like 3 days. Water was flat. My knee hurts really bad. I don't even know why. Walking up and down stairs, walking up and down the sand, dude.
The sand.
I can't straighten it. Like I can't straighten my knee.
It's stretch. You need to stretch.
Oh, it's where they put that screw in, where they reattach. Oh yeah, see, look, great vacation. It was, dude. You couldn't. Vacation is so great, man. When you're with the family.
Like, well, Tex and I were talking. It's like maybe we need to start vacationing with you guys, just because y'all do have the best setup as far as everybody in the family has kids that are very similar in age.
Yeah.
So I know it's all hands on deck watching those kids, but the kids can play with each other.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
And where we're struggling right now is we're the only people in our family that have kids, as far as on my wife's side. And like when we go on vacation with them, it's like we still have to be full-time parent mode, and everybody else just wants to be in adult mode.
Yep.
But, we get a little help with my side with my niece.
Well, it's like the first
few older, so it's still a little harder for her to play with my kids because she's about 10 years older.
But the thing is, like, when the first few vacations you go on, you're like, oh, this is, like you were saying, like, okay, everybody's there, we're going to help each other out. And then you just, like, after the first, like, 2, you're like, all right, we're not even going in with that mentality. This is us. We got to be a team here.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, like, we're not even, and you're like, that was kind of dumb for us to even expect that. But at the same time, now you're just like, okay, now we got our nose in the game here. We know what we're supposed to do. We know how to execute the plan. We've been it's like being a playoff hockey team, right? Like you're watching the Ottawa Senators.
Playoff any team.
Skating around for the first time on vacation with your kids for the first time. You're like, oh, everybody's going to help out. And then the second year you're like, man, maybe we'll get a date night. And then by the third year, you're like, no, we've been here before. We're not even just like, we know how to operate the power play. We know how to kill penalties up in here. Like we're skating as a unit. Like we know when we know how to line change. We know how to go. Somebody goes up to the pool. You got them. I stay down here with the other,
Yeah. Where we luck out now too is, and I consider it a cheat code because I feel like I'm usually the one that ends up doing it, is because our kids still nap. So, wife wants to stay down at the beach, and I'm like, I'm going to go up to the room. Kids are going to nap. I can chill inside, get out of the sun for a little bit. So
see, you have to get out of the sun. Like,
but to me, it works out too because it's nice and peace and quiet. You're not having to entertain, your parents or the in-laws, whoever it is. It's like you just can be like by yourself for a little bit.
See, I'm a guy who never wants to. When you get a pool with the vacation house and you have little kids, they're all about the pool, dude.
And y'all don't nap anymore either, I bet.
No. Well, a couple of days we kind of made them take a nap. You can start tell when they need a nap.
Oh,
they start getting cranky.
For sure.
But the thing about it is, it's like when you add a pool in and they know that they can swim all day, It's a battle to get him to stay on the beach.
Was it
So
cold? How's the water? Is it cold?
the ocean?
Well, either.
The ocean was a little chilly, but it was good fishing temperature. Like, it warmed up throughout the week in the ocean, which is why the fishing got hot. Dude, there were dolphin. I mean, we could sit out there and there were dolphin like 20 yards from us, all over the place, just everywhere. That's usually a good sign for fishing. So
Did you
we
ride a
caught.
banana boat?
Nope, we're not. This is not LeBron James, Dwayne Wade,
You
Chris
gotta ride a
Bosh.
banana boat.
There wasn't a banana boat. Have you not seen Jaws? It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, we used to ride a banana boat all the time
Also,
at the beach.
Josh is here. Hey, thanks for everybody for checking out the podcast. If you're following along the live show or on the podcast, the audio version, we do record in front of a live virtual audience, so you'll hear us talk about. Well, you'll hear people chime in. Josh has to get a few things off his chest, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going through the grades, baby. Also, I lost a sweet pair of glasses, and I crushed my headphones. Oh, dude, I had these. I don't know what happened. My wife said, "Hey, I saw your glasses. They're in the beach bag." And I was like, "Okay, that's it. That's good. I know where they're at. Got them. I trust."
Trust
Get
and
home.
respect.
Not in the beach bag.
Wow.
Not in the beach bag. Dude,
you know what that means, though? It's on her to get you a new pair.
You can't even find these. You're not going to be able to find these.
Antiques.
They're the original. These are like the original Pit Vipers. Like, they were Pit Vipers before. They were Sergio Tacchini's.
You still got to be able to find those. How do you?
I don't know,
don't even
dude.
know how to spell that.
I don't know. I had them sitting
Sergio
on
Gattini.
Tacchini, not Suzuki. All right. Okay. Oh, dude. Josh says first thing out of the Niners and the Bills don't know how to draft.
You kidding me? We drafted needs.
Y'all draft the Cowboys draft, man. Don't get us going here. Y'all oh my gosh, dude. This is something. Anyways, Edge is here. Edge, here we go.
Yeah, boys.
Is your mic on? I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Sound echoey.
It
sounds like your internal mic.
Is your mic on? Anyways.
Bro, I don't know about you.
Sergio Tacchini's.
Yeah, you don't need to get glasses from there. You need a sweatsuit. Holy smokes. I love this.
That's what I'm saying. Those glasses were all about fashion. It's National Prime Rib Day.
Was it the little tiny glasses?
Remember those?
Yes.
A standard prime rib cut is from the 6th through the 12th ribs of the cow. There you go. How about that? All right. So on the show, we're going to talk. We're literally going to be in this draft for the. Hey, there you go. See, Josh knows that's a classic apparel line. Sergio Tacchini. I had some shades from there that were probably from the 80s, and now I don't know where they're at. So hopefully the place will send them back.
They don't even sell sunglasses anymore.
I'm really sad about those because they were the ones. Did I send the picture of my son? I'll send you the picture of the ones he was wearing. But anyways, we're going to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to talk about a golf tournament. Shout out our guy, Andrew Novak. Let's go. We got hockey on. We're going to talk a little hockey. That's what I want to do. Edge, what are you doing?
Golly.
Are you filling up balloons out back there?
Dude, I'm back. My wife used my desk, I swear to God,
there it goes.
Today, and destroyed my desk. Like it looks like a freaking zoo up here. I got crap everywhere. I swear to God, I can't have nothing in this house right now. Jesus. All right, I'm back. What's good?
He's back. You sound much better, though, by the way. You do sound better. Okay. I wanted to quick.
Wow.
My boy Harold Varner Harold Varner, live guy. You're right. The gas house. Sarah says, I'll leave you at the hospital.
Jesus.
Shots fired.
Let's go. Come on.
She's got to take me to the hospital more for surgery. Okay. So
let's do a quick hang the banner.
If you tear another hamstring?
No.
Let's hang the banner real quick for playoff hockey. This fight right here was freaking
Anderson goes into the Washington bench.
So this is the end of the period between the Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals.
Nice, dude.
And
Into
they
the bench.
They start fighting into the bench. The ref gets knocked out.
Love that.
Hang the banner for NHL playoff hockey. You're not finding this in the NBA. I'm sorry. These guys are going at it. You got the whole team in the bench at intermission, just throwing fisticuffs. Everybody's paired up. There's not a player on the ice that isn't throwing fists at somebody. This is why when you watch the NBA and you watch this, you're like, how is this even close? And then you got Tom Wilson on the bench doing crybaby face. Like,
Get him
go, dude.
I thought you weren't supposed to fight in the playoffs. Out of respect.
My gosh. This series has been incredible. Montreal and I've been slacking on the sports watching this week, but we did watch a lot of the draft. So that's
because the Capitals bringing out that old 2 Chainz bands and make her dance. I mean, that's been Ovi's jam this year.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course he's like 20 years behind, but once you find a song, you got to stick with it. Okay. All right. Now that we've let everything in, I think we're going to hit the salute your sports, and then we're just going to get into this draft stuff. Any objections to that? Anything else before we get going that's happened over the weekend? We've been on vacation.
Not from me.
Other than Clemson softball dominating University of Tennessee.
What about the Savannah Bananas setting the record for most fans at a Clemson?
Who had more fans at their stadium, Taylor Swift in Minnesota? Or
hey, I was worried about Davo pulling a hammy running down the hill for that crap.
He about ripped his shirt off.
Yeah, he's over there trying to strip her for it. I was like, geez, Davo, it's a family event going on.
Did y'all go to that?
No.
You didn't even get tickets to that? You probably
no, dude. It's a lottery. It's a
RV
lottery
pricing
just like
was too much.
Oh my god!
All right.
He told me what it was. Tipta.
Ipte.
I thought you were still talking about the clothing line. All right, salute your shorts.
Salute it. Okay, here we go. We're going to talk NFL draft. Quick hitters, boys. They released a walkout music list, and I have no idea what this is for the NFL draft. I might know 3 songs on here, and I know 3. Yeah, I know right above it. International Players Anthem, I Choose You from Outkast.
You know that.
Of course, Travis Hunter had Lil Wayne since Lil Wayne was in the green room with him.
Forever by Drake. And I think that's it. I think that's where my knowledge of the walkout music from the top draft picks goes. Anybody else know anything about this, about the draft picks?
You probably know more of these songs if you heard them.
You're probably right, but I couldn't tell you.
I didn't know they had walkout music.
Me either. I love it. I mean, why not? WWE this thing.
I know some guys ran to the podium. It's like Ultimate Warrior out there.
So I didn't know it was a thing, but we're going to talk draft here. We're going to go through some tweets that I bookmarked.
You almost need a song though, as long as that tunnel is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That
also,
tunnel's insane.
Shout out to Ashton Jeanty for wearing Crocs.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Shout out to Tet McMillan and Mason Graham for being high school teammates. That's pretty cool.
In Hawaii?
I guess. I don't know. So they were high school teammates.
Isn't McMillan from Hawaii?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Play a few right now was dope. That's what Josh says.
Hey, we would if we wouldn't get canceled.
This was Shedeur Sanders' custom draft. We're going to get this Shedeur.
Oh, no.
Dude.
What, dude? Holy. This is the media's fault. Let's not get into it.
Did you see how much he spent on his draft setup, though? Like, because that's just one section of it. He had a room that had legendary stuff all in the background to where he was supposed to be, like, taking his calls from. Like, he spent a unit or two on just his draft setup that ended up being a bust. But
I have an
anyways,
article too that we're going to get to
Agent probably paid for it.
that talks about his pro day. What he spent on his pro day. It's great. Like, I don't blame the guy at all for like throwing parties and stuff. I mean, go ahead, dude. You only get drafted once.
That's right.
So
Yodo.
here's what I want to know. How much did Adam Schefter spend on this hoodie? This is
Well,
this
it's
is
the
what is
Michael.
this?
It's the dude with Fitzpatrick. What's his name? Used to play offensive line, the bald guy. He did that all last season on Thursday Night Football.
Oh, Andrew Whitworth.
Yes.
Whitworth.
Yes.
So this is
That's his
Keenan
look.
Allen right here, is what this is. Yeah, but Whitworth wasn't wearing a tie.
That's true. Yeah, he
Whitworth
doesn't wear a
wasn't.
tie or a shirt
Schefter-
underneath. It's hoodie blazer for Whitworth.
He knew that this was going to cause us. Did you think that thing has sleeves?
Oh yeah,
You think so? You don't think it's a
Yeah.
hoodie?
dude, those
Hoodie
are
vest?
like all I wear right now. That's what I'm wearing right now. It's the-
What's up, Nick? Nick's in here. Good to see you. So you are what? What are we doing? What do we do? We're gonna get into all this. Talking Shedeur. And then we had Quinn Ewers with
yeah,
dude,
that's the real reason Tex isn't here right now.
he can't, dude.
He had no answer.
nothing.
I sent that picture to him. I said, "Your move," and he nothing.
talk about how much Shedeur spent on this draft room. Dude, you know how much money that is going
That's
on
what
the
I'm
trips
saying.
right there? And mounts
Tell me,
and stuff.
tell me
You
you're
spent
rich without
more.
telling me you're rich.
No joke, dude.
Taxi is a whole this is like a barn dominium.
Yeah, in the barndominium that he's got for the man cave, just got everything that their family killed
It's a
across
moose.
the world.
It's a moose.
Dude, this is unbelievable.
He's probably
And
never even shot a gun.
The only
I
thing
saw-
I think that is currently missing right now is like something from the tiger family or lion family and an elephant.
Tiger King.
Like that, the rest of that, he's got it, dude. He's got the rest of it checked off the
Dude.
box.
Somebody said he was trying to get drafted by Cabela's.
That's good.
Shows up in Noah's Ark, basically.
Hey, it might have had NIL for Cabela's.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
good.
man! Shout out Quinn Ewers. For
he get
for
drafted?
that get up. I couldn't. There was who else had another good one? There was somebody else that had a good one. He had two elk behind him. I think it was the lineman from North Dakota State.
Oh yeah.
And
He's
then-
like in Idaho or somewhere. I think.
And then this
I got
thing
the draft
shows up.
on right here. It's still in round 1, so he's probably
This look-
about to come up.
It looks like he's filming. You remember the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when nature
Yes.
calls? That's what it looks like. It looks like he rented that room out from the movie. So, and then we'll clean up the Panthers Bears blockbuster trade is now final. The Panthers got 2023 number 1 pick Bryce Young, and the Bears got DJ Moore, 2023 Darnell Wright, first round pick, second round pick Tyreek Stevenson, 2024 first round pick Caleb Williams, and then 2025 second round pick Luther Burden. So who won the trade? Panthers or Bears?
Right now, I think the Panthers have a better shot at
Woo!
competing in their division
I love it.
than the Bears have at competing in theirs.
Facts. I mean,
I don't think either team's very good right now, but
tell me you don't
NFC's
believe in your quarterback without telling me you don't believe in your quarterback when you have to draft another wide
Yeah.
receiver, another
Right.
tight end. Like the Bears.
that's the Packers are the same way.
Yeah.
What'd the Packers do? They drafted a wide receiver in the first round first time since 2002.
Yep.
And they
Yep.
had got 4 good wide receivers already. Young on their rookie deal still.
Mm. Oh, Nick's saying, wait, so if Johnny Manziel had draft parties and he can't be drafted, it would be swept under the rug. Dude, I'm not blaming Shedeur. Just have a draft party, dude.
Have one
Have a
every
draft
day.
party.
Have 3.
Like have them. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. I'm not defending Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was a terrible pick. Would we not all agree on that?
Oh,
I mean,
for
I don't.
sure.
They said before the draft that Johnny Manziel doesn't watch film. Right there, I'm not drafting him. I don't care who he is. So, New Orleans rookie Tyler Schaff played with Saints tight end Juwan Johnson at Oregon 6 years ago. So we got a reunion at the Saints.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
How stupid is that?
COVID years.
Dumb. Most picks by school in the 2025 NFL Draft. Ohio State leads the way with 14. Georgia 13, Texas 12, Oregon 10, Ole Miss 8, so on and so forth. Alabama 7.
It was like 24 of the first 32 picks were Big Ten or SEC.
Yeah.
Like something crazy like that.
And Ohio State had like 7 or I don't even remember how many it was. Like maybe it was 11 out of something like the first 30-something picks.
Oh, makes sense why they won the national championship.
So dumb. Power 4 schools without zero players selected in the 2025 NFL Draft. Baylor, BYU, Duke, Houston, Mississippi State, Northwestern, Wake Forest. Wait, didn't Mississippi State have somebody drafted? Maybe it was Texas A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M.
That's crazy.
That's surprising for BYU. I mean, they were ranked. They almost made the playoffs.
So, I don't know.
But all those other schools were garbage.
This is crazy, dude. Did you see those big, the signs of the teams? This guy, the NFL hired Ike Winter to build logos for all 32 teams out of wood. He's a Wisconsin native who only uses wood he finds on the streets or in dumpsters. The project took him 900 hours.
Jeez.
That's legit.
So those little signs of the team that they were smacking as they were walking out, this dude built out of garbage wood.
When did he hire? When did he get hired?
They signed him last year.
Yeah. Dude, 900 hours? That's crazy.
That's 37 days. So I'm like a little over a month.
Dude, insert the meme of reclaimed pallet wood where people used to build stuff out of pallet wood all the time. I love the one where they just throw them in a bunch of pile and be like, hey, this is what I built out of pallet wood, and just stacked up a bunch of pallets.
Just light it on fire.
Oh, here you go. Conference totals for the 2025 NFL Draft. SEC 79, Big Ten 71, ACC 42. There you go.
And the number 1 pick. Why'd they combine Notre Dame with the Mountain West and American Conference? I got us like, is Notre Dame 1 and the other 2 are 2 and 3? Like, what are the numbers there? Why are those 3 combined?
I don't know. That's a good point. But so what? 150? Yeah, 150 of the 250 something that were drafted came out of the SEC and the Big Ten. That's crazy. Viral draft moment here from Shedeur Sanders as they showed that when he got drafted, this is what they showed on camera.
Oh no!
The bottom end of a dog bone, looking like basically a
getting teabagged.
Like, what are we doing here?
Oh no!
Oh,
Framing matters.
God.
Framing matters.
You can't do that. It's crazy. Anyways, shout out to this the whole shout out to this is what I wanted to get to. Shout out to Hunter Renfrow is coming back and signing with the Panthers. So the Panthers drafted a receiver and then just picked one up who had already retired. What the Panthers doing?
Was he the shortest retirement ever?
Had to be.
What did he do for a year? That's what I want to know.
Are you kidding me, dude?
For like a recycling business or something.
You're talking about what he do in retirement? Yeah.
Yeah, what did he do for a year? I'm not saying
he had a job, like a legit job. Not that football's not a legit job, but like I think he had like a corporate job.
That's crazy. He was a Pro Bowler and then just was like, yeah, I'm good. And then came back. I don't get it. So, yeah, DJ, like, forgot Hunter even retired. This was hilarious. Jacksonville said, hey, we got Travis Hunter, and then the Titans drafted Io Minor from Stanford. This is dirty.
Oh yeah, that was 2 years ago.
He lit him. He had 50 yards receiving against Travis Hunter.
He said, "Hold my beer."
That was just a dirty dog move by the Titans. He said, "That's playing some 3D chess right there, buddy. That's awesome."
What do you think he does in the NFL? Think he's more defense, like 60-40 defense, 75-25?
I don't know,
Or do you
man.
think they put him on offense?
I don't know.
I
They
think
got
they're gonna try
weapons
him
on offense.
They're gonna try him on offense as something special, and
Oh,
then
for sure. But it's like,
it's not
how
gonna
much
work
is
out.
it?
He's gonna go to defense.
I don't know. I'm not. He's not going to be an every down player. I don't think on both. I think he'll play every down on defense, but I think he'll be situational on offense. I don't know. I would love to see him try to do it. I'm here for it. Let me see it.
Yeah, I mean, Dion made 8 starts in a row on both. That was
Dude,
the
that's
record.
a dirty catch right there.
Yeah, but I remember watching that game. That was
I
late
do
night.
too. I remember watching that game too for some reason.
Because you couldn't believe it. So
Yeah.
there was just all kinds of weird stuff going on with the Shedeur Sanders stuff. But we'll get to it here in a second. But anyways, those are just some cool facts. The SEC and the Big Ten, and this guy who built the signs and all that stuff. TJ says Jacksonville's enough pieces on offense. Smart money is to let him shut down the side of the field and give about 8 forced touches. I think all of us kind of feel the same way. It's like you can't not let him touch the football. The guy scores touchdowns like however he wants them.
And Brian Thomas Jr. is a beast.
Dude, he's a
Doesn't have to come in. Travis Hunter doesn't have to come in and be a number 1 or 2. Oh, I guess he does. Gabe Davis is trash.
All right, let's get to the draft grades. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We have to go through Mel Kiper's draft grades simply because there was nobody else that was more infuriated, I would say, on draft day than Mel Kiper. Animated, whatever you want to call it. He was so mad for like 3 straight days until he finally got drafted. Dude.
Yes.
He was having a hell of a time.
He was so mad.
He was so
They
mad.
had to calm him down. Reese Davis had to calm him down.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Like he's like the architect of the modern draft.
Yeah.
Getting.
I mean, he was the first guy giving all the stats and everything on all the guys, doing all the research, putting it out there. He was like the first one doing all that.
I love it. Like I love it. I think it's phenomenal.
It's great. Yeah. It's just wrong a lot.
Yeah, I mean he's wrong. I mean he's on record saying like if Jamarcus Russell, if Ryan Leaf, if
Jimmy Clausen,
like dude, he's gone out on a limb so many times and been so wrong.
But
it's incredible.
Is he might be the first guy to give us all the draft information, but is he also the first guy to, if Florida State doesn't win, I'll lick dog poop and not do it? Because he said he would quit or retire a lot, and he's never done any of it.
Is anybody? He's worse than me with these bets.
Yeah, no joke. And that's dangerous territory now because the internet saves all the receipts. That's always checking the tapes.
Yeah, he's like, I will eat like white dog turds from Step Brother. No, is it Step Brothers? Yes. Like a Sweet 16 donut. If Jimmy Clausen isn't good, that's a veteran move though, because by the time we know Jimmy Clausen's gonna be good or not, everybody's gonna forget that he made the bet.
Yeah, because he's gonna have another ridiculous one.
Gosh, dude,
he probably made a bet on like Drew Lock or somebody too. Like, no, Josh Rosen. I bet it was Josh Rosen.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, has he lost a step or does he still have his fastball because he's still so relevant? Like he's so obnoxious that you're like, wow, this guy can't be serious. Get him off the air. But then you're like, he creates such good content that it's still, just when you think he can't stay relevant, he does. So it's a very weird.
I think everybody now is so worried about being canceled, and he's almost uncancelable, just because of how bad he is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even watch his the whole side. I went to the ABC side just so I could watch college game, but not listen to ML.
I just like it makes no sense to me because he does put in a lot of hard work and he has all the stats and statistics and stuff. But it's like how he chooses to use that information is completely opposite of how he should choose to use that information.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is looking at the same stuff that he has provided, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not seeing first round." And he thought he should have gone first overall.
Oh, Shedeur?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll get to it. Just Lawrence says Kuiper was snapping. Lewis Riddick said, "You don't have to convince me."
Yeah, he did. He's like, "You don't have to tell me, dude." And he was still going off.
He was yelling at the guys on the stage with
who
him.
were agreeing with him.
That's expert move, right? That's he was born to do this. He was born to be like everybody. Just let him go. Let him go. All right. He gave out 1A+. Shocker. Cleveland Browns. He need a quarterback.
They have like 5 quarterbacks on the roster right now.
Seriously.
It's like I love. So they first of all they traded. They traded back out of the number 2 pick to Jacksonville, and then Jacksonville took Travis Hunter. I don't know. Was that a good move? I have no idea. I don't know.
It's good for Jacksonville.
I saw somebody said it was like the start of day 3 or something. They're like, Jacksonville should draft Shedeur and then trade Trevor Lawrence to Pittsburgh or somebody for
easy
couple draft picks. And it's like, I actually don't mind that. Like,
dude, no, get out of here.
Trevor's been trashed the past couple of years.
Get out of here, dude. Let's go to the next one. Seahawks got an A. Congratulations.
No. I do like this draft though. Harold Fannin from Bowling Green. He's one of those guys that just gets to.
He's like a return guy, right?
No. He's a tight end.
Tight end.
Return guy. What?
I thought Bowling Green had a good return guy.
So, he's the tight end he's a freak show. He is a freak show. They're going to have David Njoku and Harold Fannin and nobody to throw them the ball. This quarterback room is going to be outrageous. So
yeah, they said Dylan Gabriel has entered the transfer portal.
Dude, he is small.
Yeah, he is.
Dylan Gabriel is not a big guy.
Yeah.
And the tweet said that they got about Dion going back in the day says, I don't know why any young quarterback would want to go to Cleveland. I would pull a Eli if I got drafted to go to Cleveland. Next thing you know, it's Shedeur going there.
Dude, that's what
in the fifth round too,
I thought for sure that he was going to get drafted by Cleveland and then tell him no. That would have been hysterical. I thought that would have been awesome because they passed on him like 7 times before they finally took him with their last pick. Crazy. They had a weird draft. They drafted Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sanders. But anyways, we're not going to go over the whole draft. The Shedeur Sanders thing. Where are you guys at on that? Because Mel Kiper was yelling and throwing pumpkin pie at everybody who would walk by.
So first thing I want to know is like there was a Instagram post or a tweet or something sent out before the draft, and it had I tried to find it afterwards, but it had the some NFL guy on there, and it says that Shedeur had the worst formal interview that he's ever had in his life, and that the NFL guy's ever seen in his life. So y'all, how it is, like when you're sitting there doing all these interviews and stuff, like word just goes through to all the 32 teams like cancer. It's like a women's network of just gossip. So I want to know what was said about Shedeur to make him drop as low as he did, because like we know what he can do and what he can't do. Like can be a decent player. He shows a little bit of spark every now and then, and he could do great, at a team that gets the right fit for him. But there was something planted to him, and I don't know. It can't just say cockiness, because I feel like once you get at that level, everybody's going to be cocky. Like you're dealing with a type A player mentality that can go around and just have the mindset to I'm going to break your face mask off and hit you, or you can't touch me because I'm better than you. Even the reels that would be going back and forth between him and Cam Ward, like just giving lip to each other while they were throwing it around.
Oh,
Like they're definitely competitive, but there was something kind of cancer going around to where it spread like wildfire through all the teams where nobody was going to touch him like the plague, you know?
Well, I mean, I agree with that. I think he's a good enough player to be in the NFL. Like, I don't think there's any question about that. I think, though, that in recent years, teams have gone for a stretch. Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. And when jobs become on the line, teams that need a quarterback are less willing to go for a stretch. And,
Yeah.
again, he could probably be a good quarterback in the NFL. I just don't think I don't think he was ready to be a day one starter. And I think it cost them. Teams weren't willing to go on stretch. And then you kind of get into what I would say is more like a Tim Tebow. If he's not going to be the starter, I'll call it baggage. I'll probably get ripped for calling it baggage, but what all comes with him? Like with Tebow, all the fans saying he should be the starter. He should be this great, player. He should be the guy. When realistically, he wasn't the guy. He wasn't good enough to be the guy. It's yet to be seen if Shedeur is good enough to be the guy. But right now, he does come with a lot of stuff with him. Deion said, I'm bringing my luggage with me when he came to Colorado. Shedeur's going to bring stuff with him. And do you want that around your program if he's the backup? And I don't think a lot of people did. So I think that's why they passed him.
Let me compare this to you though. This is how you could throw a wrench in everything. Like I agree with everything you just said, but say Armani was in this draft, right? And it's between him and Shedeur. Who would you pick first?
Well, I would pick Armani because I've seen Armani play.
That's what I'm saying though. So
and
like
Armani's quiet. Like Armani's like a quiet.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. Like if you take all the drama away from it and it's like who plays ball, you're going to go with person A or B, right? And then it's okay. This person, but say they both can play ball equally. All right. Who else are you going to take? Because Armani's quiet, right? So, okay, let's go him. And it proved in the draft, because he dropped in the 5th round.
And, he's not a guy that runs around and creates plays like the quarterbacks do now. So, like, you got to have a good system in play. You got to have a good offensive line that he's going to be able to be that pocket passer. He can't be a guy that's going to have to run around.
There were a few places that he was going to go that they tried to make sure that, the media did not do him any favors by spending the entire 4 months of this process telling everyone he was the number one, he was this and that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's the best quarterback, and clearly, like, Cam Ward was
they did that to Caleb Williams too.
They do it every year.
Yeah,
they do it every year. They pick a guy, and the media just kind of does their thing with him. And to some degree, it's not fair to him because he really doesn't have any control. He doesn't have any control. And the reality was there was like 3 spots that he could have gone. Pretty much it was New York, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans. Once you got past those teams, of course he was going to fall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what to make of all these narratives that are flying around. I don't care.
Oh, you don't know what's true and what's not true.
We don't like all these quote tweets and these screenshots of he did this and he did that. All I know is that they sit there and they say he did this and he did that. And I had a picture of the here, I'll put it up here, of people who had wait, hold on. What did I just do? People that had crazy stats that didn't get drafted. Like Case Keenum. Keenum is the leading passer from 2007 to 2011 in the history of the NCAA football. Then it's Dylan Gabriel. Then it's Timmy Chang. Then it's Landry Jones. Then it's Graham Harrell. There's Sam Hartman. Bo Nix. Like, okay, there's one guy who's kind of panned out. Ty Detmer, Will Rogers, Kellen Moore, Baker Mayfield.
Bo Nix is up there, though, because he played 8 years in college.
It's true. I mean, Luke Falk, Seth Hennigan, Colt Brennan, Rakeem Cato, shout out Marshall, Holton Naylor, shout out ECU, Michael Penix. Like, there are like 3 starters on this entire list. Phillip Rivers, like that's it. Like you can put up ridiculous stats and show me all these stats. That does not mean that you will equate to being an NFL quarterback or a good one.
And yeah, I mean, I reference this all the time, and I told my wife asked about it, and it's like, I'm not gonna sit here because I want the guy that's running my team, my quarterback, to be a winner. And I'm not gonna sit here and put all my eggs in a basket for a guy who didn't have a winning record in college. And hand up, I was the exact same way when the Bills drafted Josh Allen. Why did we do him? He didn't even win at Wyoming. We're idiots. Why are we doing this? We don't know how to draft a quarterback. And now my tail is between my legs, and I'm the biggest Josh Allen fan ever.
You're a coward. Stand by your take, dude.
Hey, he's proven my take wrong. There's no standing by it. He's proven it wrong.
The whole thing
Shedeur could too, but it's
exactly.
They didn't even play in. They didn't even play in the Pac-12, who's no longer a conference anymore this year. And it's like they couldn't get into the conference championship game.
I don't know. I don't get into all the other narratives about this and that. No, I'm just looking at it like I watched him play. I can form my own opinion about things. Can he do some things? Yeah, he can.
It could also be like if
he can spin it.
Yeah, if he spins it, and next thing you know, like he is the next great elite, quarterback, then he's always going to have that chip on the shoulder, like all y'all passed on me on the draft, and look what's happening now. Now, will he be able to do that, Cleveland? Oh, come on, let's be real. Like
he doesn't have anybody get the ball to. Cleveland.
I mean, they drafted all running backs and quarterbacks on offense. They don't know that they need the rest. I mean, what else? I mean, come on.
They didn't have one receiver. Ends. They traded Armani Cooper to the Bills. They don't have a one receiver.
Who is their wide receiver? I feel like they brought somebody in.
Did they sign somebody?
No, I can't remember who it was. Anyways, but yeah, he's gonna have a chance to do it. He's gonna have a chance to do it. So Gavis Con says, I'm a Lions fan, but I personally think Miller to Seattle was a steal. Man, I'm a Niners fan, dude. Anything Seattle does, I'm going to say no. They did get Damian Martinez. I love Damian Martinez, dude. That guy was an animal at Oregon State. He runs so hard. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Purdy did work out. Good teams are good. Shitty teams suck. Facts.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy is there.
Jeudy, that's what it was. Yes. I knew it was somebody. Couldn't remember. But anyways, and then you had the prank call thing, buddy.
From a Falcon son, dude. Or
Falcon.
Yeah, all that's
Kilgore's guy. Albright.
Jeff Ulbrich, all that stuff's coming back, man. That's
dude,
a weird.
Do you think that kid got his ass cut or what? Good gracious.
What is going on with that stuff, dude?
His dad kicked his ass for sure.
Oh.
Apparently there was another prank call for somebody else in the draft too.
Why did it was is it reality? Why does this coach for Cleveland look so sad?
Because he's coaching Cleveland. Like, what?
That's not the coach.
Andrew Barry, or the GM. I'm sorry, Andrew Barry. He just looks just
what's to get excited about Cleveland?
Because it's day 3 and he's ready for it to be.
Shedeur Sanders' prank call from Friday night was made from a phone that had been sent to him by the league specifically for the draft. So who leaked the number? So they get these phones from the NFL, and then it was Jeff Ulbrich's son, and he prank called somebody. Who else did they prank call?
Apparently, the son went home and got on the dad's iPad that had his number in it, so he wrote it down and saved it for later. Supposedly,
no.
But there was definitely another prank call too. Like this. Like, it's bad. First of all, like it sucks that it happened to him. Like to play with emotions and junk, but. Dude, come on! Like, don't be messing with that.
Yeah.
That's the guy already put out an apology tweet post.
Of course he did. Yeah, he's trying to save face now.
That's Lawrence. That's true, and Joko is nice as well. Him and Judy are going to need a little more. Graham and Garrett are going to be scary. That's a fact. That having Mason Graham and Myles Garrett, but then Myles Garrett's like, man, this quarterback room is. I mean, they got Joe Flacco.
They got
Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders,
Kenny Pickett, and Deshaun Watson still.
Oh my God!
I have 5 quarterbacks. You keep 3.
I don't know. Shedeur The whole Shedeur thing was. I just think the media. Here's my hot. I just think the media did this to him, where they all got on this ride because they knew it was going to happen because they have more access to info than any of us. You mean to tell me they didn't have somebody saying he's not going to get drafted? And so then they could make this big crescendo and use Shedeur as like a platform for themselves to be all high and mighty to go to bat for him so that they could show him how much they like. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this was all a media. I'm staying woke on it. I don't believe that this was all kosher.
Well, Delaney Walker said he was going to go in the 4th or 5th round.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't think people knew this, and yet these people got up here and grandstanded? They told him he was a first-round pick, told him he was a second-round.
Yeah, some of it could be the fact, though, of like, Dion has kicked people out of coming to his press conferences or talking to them in the media. So, if you think Colorado is going to be good of any sorts, then your network better talk good about his son, or you're not going to get to be at his media days.
The takes tomorrow on the big sports networks are going to be outrageous. It's going to be.
Oh, Stephen A. already tweeted something.
Oh gosh, man! It's like the media did this more than anybody to this kid. Like they're trying to blame the NFL, and I'm like, you really think that these people who own these teams are ultra competitive? That I don't know, man.
They want to win. If they win,
they want to win. If
sales go up and they make more money.
That's all they care about is making money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The Seahawks, they drafted a dude whose family apparently drank all the Busch Light in North Dakota.
Nice.
So, praise Abel. That was I cannot believe the Seahawks drafted Jalen Milroe. I do love the Damian Martinez pick, like Lawrence was saying, but I can't believe they drafted Jalen Milroe in the 3rd round.
That's a stretch for me.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that guy.
How many picks did they have?
They had 11. The Seahawks had 11 picks. They got an A. So I love Damian Martinez. That dude's he's beast mode 2.0. So I forgot they signed Cooper Kupp too. The Seahawks
and MVS.
MVP season for Sam Darnold.
Woo!
So
interesting.
Yep. So Seahawks get an A. I don't know about that. I hate the Seahawks. The Patriots, dude. They get Will Campbell, protect Drake May, Travion Henderson,
long snapper.
Yeah, they drafted a long snapper and a kicker.
Wow.
Andres Borregales out of Miami.
He's pretty good.
They got to have the Mr. Irrelevant too. So, but you love seeing a long snapper get drafted, dude.
Oh yeah, didn't they delete their tweet for that?
Wait, what?
I think they had a deleted tweet for that.
What do you mean?
Maybe not. They tweeted something out and deleted it.
Ooh. How did your Lions grade? We'll get there in a sec. We'll get there in just a minute. This is such a Mike Vrabel draft.
Yes.
Lineman.
The whole draft was like that, I feel like.
Yeah, it was a front 7 draft for sure.
I loved it too, dude. I'm here for it.
The Pats?
The whole draft. It was like the Hogs won everywhere. It was offensive line, defensive line, edge rushers, linebackers, running backs. Were like the key to the draft this year.
Love it. The Giants, they got an A-. They had Abdul Carter and then traded up to get Jackson Dart, traded back into the 1st round, which I think Jackson Dart's going to be the next Zach Wilson /
Yeah, he's not a 1st round guy for me either.
He's Drew Lock. Like that, and that's the other thing with the Shedeur Sanders stuff. Everybody's like, I can't believe these other guys. I'm like, these other guys suck too.
They just interviewed better.
Like, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Jackson Dart. No, he sucks too. Like, I saw his stats against SEC opponents. He had like 4 touchdowns and 7 picks, and the rest of his 19 touchdowns came from like against, FCS schools. So I'm not sold on him either. Like, that's the problem. Everybody thinks that we're just all picking on Shedeur. No, he sucks too.
Scataboo.
Yes, they drafted Scattaboo for the Giants.
He runs hard. He I think his shelf life is not very high.
What the hell are the Giants doing with Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter? What are they going to do with those 3 guys? You can only. What are you going to do with them?
I don't know. Thibodeau move inside.
Unless they run what, a 3-4, and he kind of like Abdul Carter does, kind of like Micah Parsons, just lines up everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
He probably could, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that asked Lawrence Taylor if he could have 56, and Lawrence Taylor said no. Exactly, Lawrence. he's an interesting guy.
Warren Moon gave his number to Cam Ward.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said he could wear number 1.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, Eagles A-. Come on, Mel. Come on, Mel.
Again, like, what are we on? Our 5th team right now? He's giving out 5 A's. No, 5 teams did not get an A in the draft.
What happened to what happened to Simon Cowell's? We need to do our own. Nobody gets an A. That's what we need. So they drafted Jihad Campbell. He had some injuries at Alabama, so that was their big one. Oh, they picked up Kyle McCord, which is an interesting pick given their offense. Is Kyle McCord that athletic? I feel like they signed DTR too, so big boy draft here too.
They've always done that. I mean, they live and die by their offensive and defensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it works.
Super Bowl.
They drafted another Georgia guy. The Eagles can't get out of a draft without drafting one Georgia guy. They can't. Book it. If you could bet on that. So the Baltimore Ravens. Here you go, dude. They get the safety from Georgia with their first pick. They drafted a kicker that that pretty much tells you all you need to know about Justin Tucker.
Yeah. Well, he's a 6th rounder though, so they could cut him. I mean, they don't have to keep him, but yeah, Justin Tucker's going to be competing. That's for sure.
So now we're getting into the Bs. They drafted the dude from Marshall, Mike Green, the edge rusher. He's awesome. I wanted the Niners to draft him. So there's elite name, Robert Longerbeam. That's sweet. Oh, Chicago Bears. Here we go. The hell is this? Chicago Bears. This was weird that they drafted the tight end from Michigan before Tyler Warren, and then they drafted Luther Burden. And then this dude from Rutgers is an angry runner. So once again,
everybody from Rutgers. That's where Pacheco went.
That's what's Ray Rice.
Yeah. Well,
we know he was angry.
Yeah. He throws a good punch.
Yeah. Dude, I love Luther Burden right there, but I don't know why they.
Every time I hear Luther Burden, my mind for whatever reason goes Luther Vandross. Yeah, I don't know why.
Greatest rendition of "Oh Come All You Faithful" you've ever heard. If you haven't listened to it,
what about? Don't they have a tight end though?
Yes, they have
Clement.
Clement, yeah. I don't know why they keep drafting offensive pieces.
They don't have a running back either.
So, JMO texted Ben and said he got a good one with Luther. Dude, Luther Burden is an animal. Tear down. Come on, Lawrence. If I was going to take a tight end there, I would have taken what's-his-face, Warren. So, Texans, B+. They draft Jaden Higgins out of Iowa. Iowa State they've drafted 2 Iowa State wide receivers. That tells us that Tank Dell's done, basically. Graham Mertz. I don't know how the hell is Graham Mertz getting drafted, dude? This guy was garbage.
Where did he play before Florida?
He played at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, that's right.
Yeah.
I was like, where did he play before that?
He played at Wisconsin. What a freaking – he was terrible at both of them.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I don't know.
Looks like they're finding the replacement for Stroud.
Ooh, quarterback controversy?
Yep.
I love that. The Chiefs, here you go, dude. B+ from Mel. They went they went big boys. They went offensive tackle from Ohio State. He's injured though, I think. Then they went defensive tackle. Then they went edge. Then they went Noel Williams, cornerback. And then this dude from Utah. Yeah. Shout out him. And this little running back from Brashard Smith. He's kind of a lanky dude. So I don't know about all that B plus. I think that's a little crazy. The Chargers, Harbaugh's is this first draft or second draft?
Second.
Oh, Marion Hampton, dude. Let's go. Love that.
They called somebody. I don't know which one it is, but one of these guys they drafted was at his friend's funeral when they called him because his friend passed away and he was a pallbearer in the funeral.
Oh shit!
And they called him and drafted him at the funeral.
Cow.
Yeah.
Jeez. It wasn't
maybe the Taylor. It was a bigger guy, I think. Taylor.
Whoa.
But yeah, it was crazy.
The Triquezy Bridges, that's an awesome all-time name.
Yes.
Titans get a B plus. They had Cam Ward, obviously. That was their big one. They drafted the Alec Iomanar, the Travis Hunter Slayer. Then they drafted a dude from Sacramento State. Shout out him. So, are the Titans back? We have no idea.
No.
Commanders B plus. Everybody liked what they did. They only had 5 draft picks.
5. So. Wow.
Got the tackle from Oregon, Josh Connerly. No, it was the Saints guy who got drafted and woke the baby up. That was freaking hysterical.
Golly,
did you see that? Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it baby shake syndrome or something like that?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Cowboys got a B. This is garbage, dude. They draft Tyler Booker with an all-time quote. He said, "I make dudes hate football who loved football once before."
He was a sprinter. He was one of those Ultimate Warrior sprinters to the stage.
Dude, he looks like he's gonna. The Cowboys have drafted like 4 offensive linemen in the first round the past 5 years, and they're all multiple Pro Bowlers. So they know how to do that. Then they got the guy from Boston College and this dude who tore his ACL from ECU. He's a nice player.
Yeah, but they didn't get Dak any weapons.
Yeah, right, dude. They got Phil Maffa.
He won't be able to play next year, though, because he's got to have shoulder surgery.
That's what I told my dad. Whenever they drafted him, like his shoulders hanging on by a string.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, but they got Jadon Blue. He was impressive, though.
My boy, Blue.
My Blue. Packers, B. They drafted Matthew Golden, guy who can't catch.
Well, where's he going to play? Where they drafted 2 wide receivers in first 3 rounds, and they're loaded at wide receiver already.
They got like 6 guys
and 2 tight ends.
That's the real guy.
Musgrave and who's the other guy?
Gosh, not in football brain mode. Luke Musgraves and it's Tunyon.
Yeah.
Tunyon.
So I don't.
They got caught up in the moment, dude. They had that draft city.
Yeah.
They were the host. They wanted to, when you're in front of the camera, you got to do something where people will remember. You got to have your moment. So they did the whole, we haven't done this in 23 years.
How mad was Aaron Rodgers? Did he turn the TV off when they drafted a wide receiver in the first round?
I mean, they drafted 2 out of their first 3 picks were wide receivers. Savion Williams from TCU.
That's the thing, too, is like the Packers need help on defense, and their first 3 rounds were offensive players.
Idiots, dude. Idiots. They got themselves.
Isn't their their best DB trying to request a trade out too? And they waited till the 7th round to address that?
Yeah. But this guy's the same exact receiver that they already have.
With Reed?
Yeah, Matthew Golden. Like, he's a smaller kind of, he can move.
Yeah, he ran a fast 40.
So, but yeah. Colts got to be.
Dude, did anybody get a C, D, or F? Or is
We're
it
getting
just
ready to
all
get to
A
it.
and B's? This is ridiculous.
Tyler Warren, that was an awesome pick. That's about it. That's all we'll say about the Colts. He fell right to him.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard. There you go. He's going to have a chance to compete with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Love that. Jags got to be
silly.
Travis Hunter, obviously. LaQuint
See,
Allen.
them drafting a
Love
DB
that.
in the 3rd round makes me think that they're going to play him at wide receiver more.
Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane.
Wow, they got they're replacing Etienne.
Did the Jacksonville Jaguars have the most
4th
elite
round
running back elite
Probably
running back
12.
names drafted ever? Bayshole Tootin and LaQuint Allen. That's a pretty elite. That's a pretty elite name. I look. Tex said before he sent a message said Houston Texans have drafted only guys who went to burgundy and yellow schools.
Yeah.
The Raiders. They got to be. They got Ashton Jeanty.
They draft a whole team.
Yeah, they had a lot of picks.
Jeez.
They drafted some William and Mary guys, some dudes from North Dakota State, Montana. Oh, Tommy Mellott. That's who they drafted, dude. Love that. You remember him, the quarterback from Montana State? Dual threat.
Oh, they drafted wide receiver.
Yeah. Trying to Julian Edelman that thing.
Yeah.
When you get into round 6 and 7, my dad and I were sitting there talking about this when we were watching it. It's like some of these guys people have never even heard of. And then they show the fans. You're like, yeah. It's like, dude, I watched Tommy Mellott play like 10 games. He was an animal. He can't move laterally, so I know he's going to play wide receiver. Then they drafted the quarterback from North Dakota State.
Yeah, 2 picks later.
Trey Lance kind of ruined that. But anyways, that was cool. Tommy Mellott. I love these later rounds when you get to be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Jets got to be. They drafted Armand Mambeau from Missouri, tight end from LSU. Mason Taylor. That's
Jason Taylor's son.
Jason, yeah. So there you go.
Francisco.
Woo! 49ers, baby. Let's go. Highest draft grade out of all of our teams. Got to be for Mel. I'm not going to lie, dude. When they drafted this,
we already talked about how Mel doesn't know what he's talking about. Wow, Purdy's replacement.
I love this, dude. They went straight defense the first 5 picks. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Because they're terrible on defense.
Well, they needed it, dude. They needed the Michael Williams, bookended Nick Bosa, and we get Alfred Collins, monster up the middle from Texas. We get a wide receiver there. We got Curtis Rourke, little Maction quarterback to back up Purdy. I love it. Oh, Junior Bergen. I remember watching this guy play at Montana. Took a couple to the house in the FCS playoffs. I remember watching those games. Sent out a lot of trolls tweets. The Bergens are coming. I did. Every time he scored a touchdown, I'd say the Bergens are coming.
That's when you know you're a dad.
Exactly. I'm proud, dude. I like this draft. Straight up defense, pretty much the early part of well, it sucks because our safety got hurt, Malik Mustafa. Bucks got to be, I don't know what they're doing, drafting Emeka Egbuka because they had McMillan and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
I don't think Chris Godwin's going to be ready.
Probably not. But still, I don't understand why they keep drafting. They had a weird, look at this draft. They drafted 2 wide receivers, 2 corners, and 2 edges. That's so weird.
Was that their needs? What were their needs?
That's like auto-drafted fantasy football.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what was their needs? Edge rusher, cornerback, linebacker.
They didn't address linebacker at all.
They needed defense, and they drafted. They didn't draft anything that they needed. 2 edges. That's it.
Yeah.
Cardinals got a B-. Walter Nolan. They went all defense. They drafted 1 offensive guy.
They got Hayden Connor.
That's awesome. They went straight up 7 out of their 8 picks were defense. Love it. The Bills with a B-, dude. What are they doing? Go ahead. I'll let you handle this one.
We drafted our needs. We need a number 2 defensive back. And what I like about Maxwell Harrison is if you watch the ESPN broadcast, the last guy before those guys made their way to the stage, blue suit, dapping everybody up, congratulating everybody like he's in their crew. That was him. So we got a team guy. I don't care how well he plays. He's a team guy. We don't have to take the ping pong tables out of the locker room for this guy. Then we got TJ Sanders to clog up the middle. We need defensive line help, especially up the middle. A lot of our guys are older, so we needed that help. Another edge rusher, another defensive tackle, another DB. Waited till the 5th round to go tight end, which, from my understanding, this is a blocking guy. We got rid of Quentin Morris, so he's not there.
Oh, no,
Q's
did
not
they?
there anymore. Yeah, Quentin Morris. They didn't re-sign his tender. So we needed another blocking tight end. So that was
Y'all run a
that
lot
was
of
a
two
pickup.
tight end sets, don't you?
Yep. And at this point, our 3rd defensive back of the draft, I think we've proven that we're not very good at drafting them. So let's just bring as many as possible. And they teased us with the last pick, wide receiver.
Caden Prather.
Because we do need a wide receiver. Well, yeah, we have everybody eats, so we'll that's we'll see what happens.
You're saying that Keon Coleman's a bust.
I didn't say that. I said everybody eats.
Broncos B-. Jade Barron out of Texas. Everybody loves that RJ Harvey pick, the running back from UCF. They drafted a punter. They still haven't been the same since Sam Martin left. So there you go.
No.
And the Rams B-. They drafted a tight end out of Oregon. I remember that guy. I feel like he's been there forever.
Chris Paul Jr. Wow.
Chris Paul. That's interesting.
I didn't think he was old enough.
Vikings B-. They had like 3 picks in this draft. They had 1 in the 1st, and that was about it. So I don't know what they're going to. They apparently don't need to draft because they think they're good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
So the Saints, they're the ones. They got Kelvin Banks, and then I think they traded up to get Tyler Shuck, whatever.
They traded up to get him.
Yeah. So they traded up to get Tyler Shuck.
Did he play like 8 years in college football?
Yes. Well, he got reunited with Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
And then the Danny Stutzman, that's the dude from Oklahoma who said.
What did he say?
He's hold on. What did he say? He had one of the greatest quotes I've ever seen. He said, I'm that hold on. He said something. It was funny. I'm that communion.
Oh yeah.
He said I'm that communion linebacker or something. The white cracker with the juice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he said I'm like communion, the cracker with the juice.
Oh my goodness. That's good.
Shout out that guy.
Can you get drafted that low and still have that mentality?
Hey, that's probably what got him drafted. The
Yeah,
Steelers with a B-. Everybody thought they were going to draft Shedeur Sanders, but they take Will Howard in the 6th round, and they drafted Caleb Johnson, the running back out of Iowa, another guy who doesn't have to change any of his colors. He can go straight up.
What are they doing?
I don't know
what
what
they're doing.
I don't know what the Steelers are doing, dude. Will Howard, I think.
Is Mike Tomlin's seat getting hot for a guy that's
No.
never had a losing record?
No, it's not. He's never going to leave.
I'd be pissed if I was a Steelers fan.
I was talking to the CEO of Stats, and I'm like, they're stuck in Spaceballs mode, the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever seen the movie Spaceballs, they're like, when are we going to win? Well, you just missed it. Well, when did I miss it? You just missed it. We're in now. Well, what happened to then? You just missed it. When? Just now. Like, you're like in this same cycle, and it's the Spaceballs meme. So the Steelers are in Spaceballs mode, as far as I'm concerned. Here you go, Edge. Panthers.
Ooh.
C+.
You better be calling Quags' name, not Edge.
Are you kidding me, dude? It's got your name right here.
Their top need was linebacker.
Let's see what their needs were here. Panthers
Top
had
need
linebacker. defensive tackle, edge rusher. And what do they do with their first pick? Wide receiver. Interesting.
This is the I think this is the only reason I think I can get on board with what are the owners doing if they're saying that it's an attitude problem for Shedeur, it's why he didn't get drafted, his bad attitude or whatever. Isn't this Tamiko McMillan guy bad attitude?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Let's hold him to the same light. I don't know.
But it's his upside more than Shedeur's. I don't know.
They
I don't watch too many Arizona games.
They gave up a record amount of points. And they're out here drafting wide receivers in the first round.
Yeah.
And then running backs. And I don't know why they drafted a tight end either. I don't know. There's your Lions.
Evans is a good tight end though from Notre Dame.
But that Jatavion Sanders they got's a stud too, though.
Yeah.
Lions got a C+.
Wow.
I think just Mel Kiper just doesn't like. Oh, there you go. See, he goes C+, probably right. We should have grabbed Mike Green at edge. We restocked the trenches. I was just getting ready to say there's a lot of DTs, guards, edge.
Yeah, big boys.
Big boys up in here. That's Dan Campbell, though. So I love how this guy's name is Tesla.
I mean, they pride themselves on running the football.
I didn't even see that.
Like, that's why they got Thunder and Lightning or whatever they're called now. Like they pride themselves on running the football. If you're gonna do that,
yeah. But G.U.Y.S, are they trying to copy the Eagles? Georgia. Come on now. Come on, Dan Campbell.
Do you think that all teams that drafted Georgia players were like, all right, look, you got to slow down. You can't get a speeding ticket. You can't go 140 miles an hour.
They get them a driver is what they did.
It's like, you're never driving. We're going to give you a black Tahoe. It's got an NFL license plate on it.
Uber for life gift card right here. Like, come on. So this little Ahmed Hassenen, he's a good player. The Dolphins, they literally safety, cornerback, defensive tackle is what they needed, and guard. Their first pick. Okay, so they did what they needed. They need to get more physical.
Quinn. Quinn's going to Miami.
Quinn Ewers, dude. Hey.
I love that pick for them.
Is he allowed to hunt down there?
Maybe he gets some exotic animals in Miami.
Cocaine bears.
Cocaine cowboy.
So, they went big boys. They went big boys first 3 picks. Good for the Dolphins. Falcons get a C.
They drafted another quarterback?
No, but they did draft 2. Everybody was like, the Falcons defense sucks. So they basically just picked 4 defensive players. One guy, the James Pierce, is kind of a project. There were a lot of guys who are like pass rushers of this draft, like dudes up front who are like, if they play hard, if they commit to it, they'll be ready to go. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, that's the last thing I want to hear. I'm about to pay this guy $30 million. So, Bengals got a C from Mel. They drafted another guy, Shamar Stewart. I love this dude that they picked from Texas Tech. He's like their all-time leading rusher or something crazy. Taj Brooks, a running back with their last pick. So they did a lot of upfront and defense, which is what they need. So, was that it? Did the Falcons have the worst grade? I mean, the Bengals. He didn't give any D's.
His worst. He's living in La La Land. BMO just sent us a text that PFF gave the Panthers an A+ grade.
Wow.
I said PFF is a paid service, though. So,
Edge, what do you think? Okay, I think the Falcons and the Seahawks had 2 of the best drafts from G.U.Y.S. The Seahawks, I hate the Seahawks, so I can't agree with you there, only strictly because I'm a Niners fan. Secondly, I think the Falcons did too. When they drafted those 2 edge rushers, I was like, dude, the Falcons heard people say that their defense sucked, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to listen to that anymore.
They want to be the Rams now. So didn't the Rams do that last year?
Yeah.
They had those 2 rookie guys from Michigan.
The Falcons' pass rush was abysmal. It was like worse than the league. They could not.
And
get
they had
to the
Matthew Judon, which is crazy. I
Yeah.
think one week I bet Matthew Judon to get over half a sack. He didn't do it.
That's terrible.
Couldn't believe
Yeah,
it.
I don't get it. They had 31 sacks last season, more than just one other team, New England. That's 30, and since 2019, they have 30 fewer sacks than any other team. That is so stupid. That's so bad. How can you be that bad?
Yeah.
So, no, AK does not love the Sea Chickens. I hate the Seahawks. Hate them. Can I respect them? Yes, but no, I won't. Anyways, that's all the draft grades that Mel Kiper had. What do we give Mel Kiper a grade for his? Let's give him a grade for his grades.
F.
I'll give him a C-.
That's the worst. That's worse than any grade he gave out.
Exactly. But he doesn't fail anybody, so you know.
He's too easy, dude. He's part of that stem. All right, let's get to our we're gonna do what should we let's do a little hang the banner, or we can do shambles meter. Let's do the hang the banner music. So because I got one more thing that we gotta get to here.
All right.
You did it! Congratulations!
Okay, hang the banner. All right, here we go. I gotta find this. I had it pulled up. There we go. So we're gonna hang the banner. We just did a whole hour on NFL draft, but there was another event that took place this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has been in Novak has been trimming some weight too. He's in fighting weight. That dude is he's trimmed up. He's leaned down. At
Playing
Zurich
all 4
Classic,
days and making the cut. He's walking more.
Good point. The Zurich Classic was this weekend, and Andrew Novak, friend of the show, we'll have to get him back on to discuss the Panthers draft, because he's probably going to be like, "Oh, you guys want to talk about golf?" We're like, "No. You're a Panthers fan. We want to know. We want you to explain to us why the Panthers drafted a wide receiver with their first pick." That's exactly what we'll ask him. But shout out to Andrew Novak, who was so close last week at the Heritage and finally gets it done this week. So he earns exemption from the PGA championship and the next 3 or 4 signatures, and he's now 6th in the FedEx Cup. So they won with a 28 under team play, and it was electric to watch him finally get that win. So shout out Andrew Novak.
Speaking of golf, did y'all see the guy that had the ball like right at the edge of the pond, took his shirt off and socks off to go hit it out of the pond and do like the ultimate farmer's tan. It was like, he looked like me, nice and tan on the arms and, face. And then as soon as he took his shirt off, it looked like G.U.Y.S sitting out there. Translucent.
Easy. Pasty. Dude, did they need each other to get their first wins?
Yes, they were a good team.
Does it count? Does it count as maiden win, or is it only maiden win when you win by yourself?
Maybe this propels him. I mean,
well, this is like what I understand the rules and having to be a certain world ranking, whatever, to play in the majors. Totally get it. Totally understand it. But for a guy like Novak, who was top 5 or 10 in like 3 tournaments before the Masters, goes out, gets a playoff, loses in a playoff the week after the Masters. Then 2 weeks after the Masters, he goes out and wins a tournament. It's like, I'm not saying he would have won the Masters, but he probably would have made the cut. And it's like, you got to find a way to get those guys in.
Yeah. And like there's not very many people that are playing. Like Rory is playing better golf than him, but he's been. I don't know how many top 10s he's had in like the last 5 or 6 events, but he has been cooking, dude.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I sent out a tweet to him and I was like, dude, who's having a better season, 2024 Scotty or 2025 Novak? You know, what are we doing here?
There.
So shout out to Novak. Awesome. Okay. The shambles meter, ladies and gentlemen. It's back. Number 4, dogs. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Number 2, the NCAA. And number 1 is Connor Hellebuck. Connor Hellebuck's having a hell of a time in the playoffs this year. So why are these 4 on the shambles meter? Well, here we go. Dogs are on there because the idiot Washington Nationals. Why would dogs be on the shambles meter? Idiot Nationals, Washington Nationals baseball team had their bring your dog to the park night.
Oh my god!
And then shot off fireworks after the game like a bunch of idiots.
Jeez, dude.
They put up a sign that said the post-game fireworks will begin approximately 20 minutes following the final out. If you or your 4-legged friend are not a fan of loud noises, we advise you to exit Nationals Park immediately following the games. What dog do you know?
It's for real.
I was gonna say, I bet there was 0 people in the stands.
Who's the idiot that planned this?
Jeez.
Shambles. Dog. Would it be dogs or the Nationals?
I think it's the Nationals.
Yeah. Whoops. That's stupid.
Dogs are never shambles.
Facts. Number 3 was Jurassic Park. They have found a very well-preserved dinosaur embryo in China, estimated to be 66 to 72 million years old. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. It was discovered in a fossilized egg, tuck posture similar to bird embryos. It offers more evidence to the evolutionary link between birds and dinosaur. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea.
They're recreating Jurassic Park.
That's why they're on the shambles meter. This is not going to end well. Also, This is called water cooler. This is defamation right here.
How dare they?
Is this debate?
I don't know, but I saw it and I was like, somebody's about to get that old man with the cane and the mosquito, and we're about to have a real problem on our hands with this nonsense. Are we in shambles or is Jurassic Park in shambles? I didn't know who to put.
I don't know.
The NCAA, because Kentucky has approved a plan to convert the entire athletic department into a limited liability company named Champions Blue. From this point forward, UK Athletics will operate as a public-private partnership. It gives Kentucky the ability to raise funds and manage expenses as college sports enters a new era of direct revenue sharing with athletes, pending the approval of the House settlement. It's happening, boys.
I feel like this has already been going on, though. Like, because Clemson's got the 110 societies, which is the same thing.
How many freaking societies does Clemson have? The TIPTA,
110.
whatever.
First of all, let's talk about it right. 110 society is like for NIL money. The IPTE program is for like, you get your season tickets and all that stuff. So, but like if you want to donate exclusively for, club NIL money, you go 110 society.
I didn't even know that.
I don't have enough money to even know like how much to even do that for, but I know it's there.
So I don't this whole thing. And then Connor Hellebuck's number 1 on the shambles meter. Because the playoff, I feel bad for this guy, right? Like he's up for the Vezina. He's up for the Vezina, going to win like best goalie in the league. And look at his last stretch of playoff games for Connor Hellebuck.
He kind of looks like Novak.
Oh, he does. Well, he looks like the guy from the Goldfish, Boban. Whatever that guy's name is that does the Goldfish commercials, played basketball. His last 13 playoff games, he's allowed 4+ goals in 10 of his last 13 playoff games. That is garbage. So he got pulled again tonight. So he's completely on the shambles meter. There's no way,
Jeez.
no way around it.
He needs he needs to change his luck around. Banana hand.
Hey, that's banana boat ride. So that's the shambles meter. All right, who wants to? Anybody got to hang the banners, and then we'll get out of here.
I got two hang the banners.
Go ahead.
One for close to softball beating Tennessee, like I said earlier. That was epic.
You went up there with a poor attitude, though.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. It still pulls out a W, beat number one in the nation. So go Tigers on that. Second hang the banner is for everybody to talk crap about me brainwashing my son. There's also somebody else on this podcast that's been brainwashing my son because during the draft, every time there's a Bills logo on the bottom of it, or they're going to select the draft, out of nowhere, my kid goes, Bills, Bills, Bills. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he goes, Uncle G.U.Y.S said Bills, Bills, Bills. And I'm like, oh my God, this can't be happening right now.
Well, I told him, I said, if he wanted to be a part of my family, he had to learn how to cheer for him. So
see, Bills fans are the worst. My mother, who's a Bills fan, does that to my like. She literally has every one of the grandkids. We're doing cheerleader throws in the pool at the beach. And they stand on my shoulders and they hold my hands and they all go 3, 2, 1, go Bills. And I'm like, what is going on? Like all of them, every single one got on my shoulders said, go Bills.
That's right.
Bills fans it's a cult.
Hey.
So
all right. This year's the year.
Who's going next? Hang the banner. I got two.
Go ahead.
Okay, my first hang the banner is to NFL fan bases. I think BMO sent this to us. The drunkest NFL fan bases based on average of drinks per game. How do you feel being a Buffalo Bills fan? Well, y'all are number 3. So the Cincinnati Bengals are first at 5.2. Baltimore Ravens at number 2 at 4.7 drinks per game. The Bills 4.5 drinks per game. The Bears 4.5 drinks per game, and the Panthers 4.4 drinks per game. That's shocking. Panthers at number 5 there, top 5. Didn't see that coming.
Well, the bottom 2 are because their teams are bad.
Facts.
The Bills are drinking because it's so
the
cold. The
Bills used to be number 1 on this list, but our team's gotten better, so we've fallen a little bit. We don't have to drink as much. And we're also raised up because it's colder.
Also,
I mean, if it wasn't cold those last 4 weeks of the season, we probably wouldn't be in the top 5.
Well,
but before we had Josh Allen, we were number 1 for sure.
The Bills also have. Well, yeah, you're too nervous to actually go get beers now between the game because they're meaningful snaps all the time now.
Yeah,
and the Bills have elite tailgating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, retrain McKee. You wonder how they Tyler Miller 64s. So there you go. Hang the banner for NFL fans for just. I feel like this is not even. Now you got to remember drinks per game. These are 24-ounce beers usually.
Yes.
So really, that's like.
Well, I'm thinking too. What is the price of the Cincinnati Bengals game versus the price at a Bills game too?
I'm surprised the Falcons aren't on here. Right? Don't they have the most affordable concessions in the league? If so, shame on you.
They're not drinking. They're not drinking beers. They're probably drinking liquor. Drinks are probably. What they're drinking.
We were at the beach. I saw some Hypnotic bottles empty in one of the drawers. I went to text. I said, "Hey, you need to tell me something." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Don't play stupid." And then my other hang the banner was for the Iamaleava brother, whatever they are. Iamaleava brothers. Arkansas is threatening to sue Madden Iamaleava for breach of his contract and NIL money. Tennessee is likely as a breach of contract against Nico too. Would be wild if Nico and Madden had to give all their UCLA NIL money to Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know why I'm hanging the banner for that. It's just a funny story.
Hey, karma.
And Joey Aguilar switching places with Nico is also hilarious.
Yes, my buddy texted me about that.
Outrageous.
I mean, it's somebody compared him to Gorentino, the old guy they used to have.
Oh yeah,
Like a poor version of Gorentino.
I don't get it. How are you Tennessee and can't get a quarterback?
Yeah.
But I mean, shout out to Joey Aguilar for being advantageous.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this has been episode 237. We talked a lot of draft and some golf. So that's great. Had a good time, man. It's good to be back in the chair. Good to be back with everybody on here.
Good
back
to
in the
be
swing of
back.
things.
Derby this week.
Oh, this weekend. You're right.
Probably won't be on Wednesday, but I'll be on Sunday to recap the Derby.
Okay, good. All right then. So,
yes.
Everybody have a good Monday. Good Niners. Who won the draft?
The best.